Intelligence without ambition is a bird without wings. A quote by Walter H. Cunningham, a British-Canadian business owner known for his company Sherman-Williams. He said this because to him there was no point in intelligence without using it. Walter Cunningham was talking about real intelligence, though. Since the 1940s, digital technology has been on the rise. One of the many advancements they made was in 1956 by Alan Turing. This was artificial intelligence, or AI. The goal was to see if a computer could think for itself. The results were outstanding, and they continued to work on its applications. Presently, there are 5 main types of artificial intelligence in the world. Narrow AI, which is the most basic type used for internet searches or bots that play chess. Limited AI studies past data to get a more collective output, such as chatbots or self-driving cars. Deep learning AI is the driving force behind voice control and image recognition technologies. Expert systems, which answer questions/problems based off of their codings. And the most recent, generative AI, which creates new context such as text or images based off of existing data. As a result of the many different types of AI, it has been used in education for decades. In 2022, author and computer scientist Professor Michael Woodbridge released a book, A Brief History of AI, What It Is, Where We Are, and Where We're Going, which is a comprehensive history of usage on the artificial intelligence in human lives. There it is said the earliest AI seen in education was a 1966 program named ELIZA that eventually turned into the ITS intelligence tutoring system. But these were all tools that helped people much like a ruler rather than doing the work for them. Generative AI is used by 86% of students all around the world, and that is not a good thing. In my speech, I will talk about the usage of AI in education, the effects of over-reliance on artificial intelligence on the student body, AI hallucinations, and the cost of upkeeping AI. While generative AI has a large history in education, generative AI is a massive change from what it used to be. There are a few main issues with this model. First is plagiarism. AI learns from information to feed from it. The information that it receives from real people, from art/drawings they made because of this, it just is a regurgitation of the information. But if you were blindfolded and drunk. The next most prevalent issue is inaccuracies. AI sorts through everything it was taught, but it doesn't have the cognitive ability to distinguish through it 100%. The AI overviews on Google, each sentence is a different website, and because of this, the information can be all over the place and in many such cases wrong. The issues with generative AI as a tool are plentiful. Generative AI's job is to give you an answer. It goes against its code for a user to ask or prompt it something for it to not deliver. As a result of this, it will make up an answer. Even if the information is readily available or easy to solve, the AI may produce falsehoods anyways. There is a very common example of this via users asking the AI how many R's there are in the word strawberry. The AI will incorrectly answer. This phenomenon is called AI hallucination. The website IBM.com, a technological company, hosts an article about the causes. AI hallucination comes from misinformation of the training databases it pulls from. A quote from the article, AI models can also be vulnerable to adversarial attack, wherein bad actors manipulate the output of an AI model by subtly tweaking the input data. In image recognition tasks, for example, an attack might involve adding a small amount of noise to an image, causing AI to misclassify it. This can become a significant security concern, especially in sensitive cases such as cybersecurity and anonymous vehicles. This is an issue because if generative AI is used rampantly in education, there is a high likelihood the information will be incorrect or made up. While there have been things taught in school that have turned out to be false, they are what research had shown at the time. This would not be the case with AI, as it just mashes information together to earn a response. A 2024 study done by the Digital Education Council, a global community focused on the impacts of technology, did a survey called Global AI Student Survey, which found that 86% of the student body around the world use AI for their work, with 69% getting their information from generative AI, 33% summarizing documents, and 24% creating rough drafts. It also ruins the integrity of students. Zai Chuping and others wrote an article for Springer a peer-reviewed article called The Effects of Over-Reliance on AI Systems and the Students' Cognitive Abilities, a systematic review that delves into a psychological impact generative AI has on recent years on students. In the study they did, the cognitive abilities of students who relied on generative AI found that the creative, critical, and task efficiency was severely lowered. If students are learning the wrong information or not learning it all the way by having the machine do it for them, they won't have those skills later. This is important because if students don't learn how to do the job, then society will collapse because the workforce will not be able to handle people not having skills. Not only does AI have negative effects on the students, but on the world too. The environmental impacts on the world. Generative AI takes up a load of space for their servers to run and uses tons of water to keep the systems cool. David Barabee, a computer scientist and journalist, wrote for the University of Yale an article, As Use of AI Soars, So Does the Energy and Water It Requires, published February 6, 2024, devolves into the number of resources needed to keep up with the demand. Reported in the article, every 10 responses use up half a liter of water. Also, it needs a significant amount of space, while narrow AI is capable of running basic functionalities of technology on a cloud database. Generative AI is not. It requires 1 to 2 billion spaces of feet. The predictive energy usage in just Japan is 1,000 terawatts. Some may argue that since AI has been around and used for a long time, what is more server rooms? The answer to that is the amount of consumption. Google and Microsoft use water to cool their systems, regardless of AI, but just 1 year after implementing generative AI into their search system, the water consumption rate went up from 20 to 34%. The Earth is already struggling to keep up with the demand today. Having a large consumption will only speed up the killing of the Earth. Artificial intelligence has many applications, but something that can only plagiarize and lie should not be a viable tool for education. Education is about learning, and allowing students this program would be bad. It also is unsustainable for the Earth and requires lots of space and water. Look for the future of both of our society and planet. Stop generative AI usage.